So I recently made a video where I talked about my struggles with motivation and photography, and that I was really struggling to get my camera out and take some photos. One of the ways that I found to re-energize myself is actually getting inspiration from movies. So a few days ago I was watching The Lighthouse. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that movie, but it's absolutely excellent in my opinion, and it is a black and white film, and it has a lot of heft, it has a lot of weight, and one of the reasons why it achieves the success of this kind of psychological drama, in my opinion, is because of the black and white tones of the film. It's very dark for the majority of it, probably 90% of the film, really eliminating details in the shadows and therefore really exposing for the light. And that inspired me to go out with my camera and take more dramatic photographs. So I could sit here and talk about the technical aspects of photography, but for me, more important than that is the feeling that I get when I'm taking photographs. So black and white, I think, gives me personally more of a feeling towards a scene, particularly when I'm looking at something that's got more atmosphere, where I'm looking to eliminate details in the shadow. It gives me photos that I feel something when I look at. So not this pretty picture photography. And to be honest, I've done a lot of that on this channel, but what's driving me at the moment is moving into these darker, moodier scenes. Now at the moment, I'm doing that with urban photography. I did a little bit, you'll see in a previous video, with more rural conditions, but that is what's inspiring me at the moment. I'm going to talk through some of the shots I've been taking recently, where I've been really looking to eliminate details in the shadow, or using shadows but going for these dark monochrome images. So the shots I'm going to show you in a minute are parked caravans on a motor home. Now when I first came across this scene, just doing a photo walk early on a Sunday morning, the colour of the lead caravan, the colour of the motorhome, was just a kind of dirty beige colour. Looked like absolutely nothing visually, but on the back of the camera, I had my camera set up to shoot in black and white, and when I darkened down the exposure, suddenly it came to life. Using the darkness of the shadows, using the brightness and the different scales of grey, and for the pure white for the motorhome, really brought these images to life. It helped me concentrate on things like the form, the shapes, the textures, using the light to give the right impression of the photo, to add some depth. And again, I'm going to use the word feeling. I feel something when I look at these photos. The four girls walking through the scene. Now again, what I did on this is wanted to get a feeling and emotion to the photo. So I could have taken it in a very traditional black and white way. There were a few shadows playing around and things like that. But in the editing, I decided to really push the boundaries here. Again, using really dark blacks to really crush those shadows. Focusing in on the white, and in a way I've slightly overexposed on the white so that the wall is really to the point of being blown out. It's not, but it almost to that point. The white elements of the people walking through the scene as well, the trainers, the clothing, really leaning into that kind of darkness and mystery of the shadows and where they're walking. A bit of storytelling there, wondering where these girls are walking to and what they're going to be doing. So I mentioned the movie The Lighthouse at the beginning of this video, and yesterday when I was out with my camera, I got really lucky. Firstly because it was a very cloudy day, but dark, moody clouds with occasional sun coming out. Secondly, I found this amazing church to photograph. Now, I don't normally photograph churches, but I thought the architecture on this particular church worked really well. So there are two different types of shots here. The first type of shot where I'm playing into the moody conditions, I'm showing the sky, leaning into the fact that I'm hiding the details in the shadows. And then the second shot, I wanted to do some close-ups, get the details of the lower part of the building, get some close-up, more minimalist shots as well. Now, of course, I didn't go completely dark and moody for all of the photos because sometimes that didn't work. So a couple of examples that I'm going to show you now. The first with the shadow of the lamp. I didn't need to show the lamp, but I'm leaning into the concept of the lamp by using the shadow. And the other photo that I'm also going to show you in a second is just concentrating in on the clock face. I like the lines going through, and it's just a completely blank sky. But of course, black and white is great at adding this timelessness to a photo, and that's what I was trying to achieve, particularly with the clock. And if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you also know that I do love to put some minimalist compositions together from time to time. Now, just a quick note to add, I don't do editing videos on this channel. If you want to get a similar effect to the photos that I've shown, I would recommend using Photoshop if you have it, and you need to look up how to do gradient maps. You'll find plenty of people on YouTube that have videos on achieving that kind of look.